river concept. You know, last night when we got in, I'd heard all my life about this reversing tide. I never, you know, it just fascinates me. I don't guess there's any other place in the world that has that. Is that right? As I understand, is that right? You have the reversing tides here? Falls, reversing falls. That still fascinates me, so I asked David if he would to drive me over and let me look at it last night. Interesting, wasn't it, Bob, to see that? You know, it just fascinates me to understand the phenomenon of something like that. I don't understand it. I sit there and watch it. It just fascinates me. And, you know, I've always wanted to come and visit here and have an opportunity to work with really, I love to sail. But while we were there, I was thinking, that's just like the car business. You sail one sometime, they roll backwards on you. You ever had one do that? He'll unwind. Here he comes. Now we've got to put him back together again. You know, it's strange how you relate everything to what you love doing. In my case, it's selling. Now, what's this river concept? This river concept is a true one. I live in the state of South Carolina, where I was born and reared. Near my hometown, there's a river that runs through that little hometown, or near my hometown. It comes out of the state of Tennessee, starts up in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, just a little north of Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Some of you may know where that's at. And as this river comes south, it crosses the North Carolina state, heading south toward South Carolina. Now, after it crosses this North Carolina line, it comes off the mountains there in North Carolina, and they change the name of it. They call it then the South Tiger River. The South Tiger River. Obviously, the reason they call it the South Tiger is once it comes off this mountain, I've heard it for years, ever since I can remember, boy, that old river's a tiger. It's heading south toward Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, so they call it the South Tiger. Now, back just in the 40s, and this goes back a few years ago, my father and I walked over here one day to the banks of this old South Tiger, and it must be 50, 60 feet across that river. And it was hot in the summer. I can remember it like it was yesterday. All these trees over here on the other side. And my father says to me, he said, Jack, son, let's swim across the old tiger here, and we'll get out over there on those trees. I said, okay, Dad. He said, now, son, where are you going to get in the river at? Now, put yourself mentally for a moment in about a 5 or 6 year old kid's mind. Where would you get in the river at? Because this current is moving, coming off this mountain. I mean, it is flat rolling when she comes down through that river. Now, where would you get in at? You got to go upstream, have you not? And I said, well, Dad, I'm going to move back up here on the bank and get in. He said, why? I said, well, if I get in up here, that current will take me right down to those trees. Strange how you can remember things when you're a child. He said, son, it's the same way when you're selling cars. He said, if you ever ask a man what he wants for his car, or if you ever ask him what he'll take for his car, don't forget this, Jack. Where is he going to put you in the river at? Isn't that strange? I said, Dad, I guess he'd put you in down here. He said, that's right, son. He'll always do that. Now, if you want to get out where those trees are over there, which represents full list, what do you got to do? I said, I got to swim upstream. He said, what chances do you think you got, son? I said, 2. Slim and none. He said, don't ever forget it, son. It's where you put the man in the river at. And you don't ask him what he wants, and you don't ask him what he'll give, because if you do, he'll put you in the river downstream, and you've got your job cut out trying to bring him back upstream, in this case, to full list. By the way, there's a dam right down here. Corny little story, isn't it? It's called the river concept. It's where you put the man in the river at. Don't ask him, unless your management tells you otherwise, don't ask him what do you want for your car. Don't say, what would you give for this car? Make a proposal to him, and when you make the proposal to him, who puts him in the river? I do. Listen to these little words right now. Here's number 5. Excuse me, you won't have to make this number 4. I'll just write it up here. You could make a note of it if you want to. Just put a note on there. Here's some of the best words. They're so simple. It's difficult for most people to comprehend them because they're so simple. What's this one? Let me make you a proposal. Or you could say, let me get you a proposal. When you say this, why is it most consumers will let you make them a proposal? What do they want to know anyway? They want to know what you'll do, is that right? And if you make them a proposal in reference to the river concept, what does this give you an opportunity to do? Start them upstream. Now, what's the next technique? Because we're going to tie all these together. We'll hit maybe 4 or 5 of them before we take a break, and then we'll come back. Watch number 4. This one here, extremely valuable. It's not how much you give. It's not how much you give. It's how many times. It's how many times you give.